Good afternoon, my lovelies. It is Thursday, April 15th, 2021. The current temperature today is 9 degrees Celsius, and it is a bit breezy. We are over in Dartmouth doing the Dartmouth Harbourwalk. Kiddo and I just took the ferry boat across from Halifax to Woodside, which is in the south end of Dartmouth, going towards Eastern Passage. This will be my first official video using my new DJI Pocket 2 that just came the other day in the from the Amazon man. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can. I'm still, there we go. I'm still getting used to it. And looking at a very tiny little view screen. Now I did get the creator combo, so I do have a wireless mic. And I do have that little poofy thing. When I did my unboxing, the little poofy thing looked like something that you would apply powder to your face, but it's not. Now this imposing building here is the Nova Scotia Hospital. Now this building, for the most part, really isn't used a whole lot, especially the upper floors. They are abandoned. Now I do believe this building dates back to the 1920s or the 1930s. It is a psychiatric hospital. Now back in the day when my father was a young man, he worked there in the mailroom, and the stories he could tell you. I'm still figuring things out with this. So here's the Halifax Harbour and the skyline. I haven't figured out yet, now that I got the little stick working as my joystick to pan back and forth and up and down, I'm trying to figure out how to do the zoom. So still a learning curve. I just got this 2 days ago, so don't give me too much of a hard time. Please. But that would be an Instagram worthy picture, don't you think, Mark?
I would say so.
You should get your camera out or take a photo. That is wicked. And I'm going to see it when we get home if he can send me a picture of it so I can post it onto my Instagram. That is absolutely spectacular. So we're just going to finish walking along. This pathway will eventually take us to Dartmouth Cove. As you recall, about 2 months ago I did a video and I started a live stream from Dartmouth Cove. I can totally see how the hospital here has such calming views of the harbour And the path is a little bit on a slope. And I'm going to try to adjust this bad boy. It's tricky to get a horizon line when you're walking on a hill, because everything is sloped. Now, to be frankly honest with you, I've never been on this trail all the way. So I figured today would be a good day. It's beautiful out. I mean, it is 9 degrees. It is a bit on the cool side, but it's not cold, if that makes any sense. The ferry coming over was a lot of wind. I did record a silent video on the ferry, and it will probably be really loud. There's a little path here. Let's see where it goes. Y'all heard of Dora the Explorer? This is Bevy the Explorer. Okay, so this goes down to the water's edge, that path. I'm not going to go there. It's where the railway tracks are. There are tracks down there. And there are some people walking along the tracks. The little path was just a loop. I didn't want to get too close to the ladies with their babies. Now, Mark, you've been on this trail before, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, this is my first time, so I love exploring. I never knew this existed until that day when I was at Dartmouth Cove. And I was like, wow, this goes all the way to Woodside? And then Halifax Walker, he's another YouTuber here in the city. He did a video where he was on part of this. He did Dartmouth Cove, and he did down by the ferry where we started. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So thank you, Halifax Walker. You showed me something in my own city that I never knew. Go through here for a sec. You can see a tree fell, and you can tell that they've had to cut it near the train tracks just so it doesn't interfere with the trains. Now, the train that does go here only serves the Autoport, which I have shown in my previous video where we were heading out to Eastern Passage on the bus. Another shot of the city. So what that did, that just takes any of the cars that get offloaded from the railroad trucks. so they can get shipped by rail, then eventually by truck to various parts of North America. Now this building coming up here to my right is the Nova Scotia Community College, the Ivany campus, but it's most commonly known as the Waterfront campus. So if you were looking to take up your IT courses, video and television radio production, you would go here. Those are the ones that stand out to me. It is quite big, and it's one great big wall of glass. I can actually see the school from my apartment. Hands cold, Mark?
No, I'm wearing gloves.
I think I like this walk. I really like this pocket too. Sure beats carrying around a gimbal and my smartphone. Granted, my gimbal is always in my backpack, and my phone is in my back pocket. A little bit of a breeze. There we go. A little bird feeder up here in the tree. That's pretty cool. That's the sound I like to hear. Birds chirping. Hopefully the mic is picking it up. Some workers there working on the fencing. Oh. Don't feed the ducks, basically. That's interesting. They did too. Pine cones. What people do with sneakers. Bear with me, folks. I'm still learning this one. So the trail here has a stop sign. So there must be a driveway that we have to cross. Now it is a restricted fence. I wonder why. It's probably because we're near the sewage treatment plant. I don't know. All right, so this tells you that you have to share the multi-use pathway. Always keep to the right, except for your passing, just like when you're in a car. Cyclists must yield to the pedestrians. Travel at a safe speed, they're saying 20 kilometers per hour. Use your bike bell before passing. Now, if you don't know how to use your bike bell, check out Johnny Stride's his cycling videos, because he don't like it when people are on the bike path walking or just standing there like numbnuts. Use your bike bell. Wow. The view is breathtaking. I can just imagine this at nighttime. So, for the boys that use the Pocket 2, which would be Johnny Stride's, the Ken Continuum and Action Kid, what would be, as a newbie, the best position that I should have this in? I mean, should I have it as follow, tilt locked, or FPV? Let me know down in the comments what you prefer, and any other little helpful tips that I can get from you boys or gentlemen. Years ago, I thought about moving into this apartment building. Probably back in about 99 or 2000. So it was pre-kiddo days when I lived over here in Dartmouth. I should have. Rent in Dartmouth is a little bit cheaper than Halifax. And it has like a view of the city. Like, holy crap. I'm kicking myself for not looking into that building. I mean, say 21 years ago, the rent for, at that time I was looking for a 1-bedroom, I think would have been around like $525, utilities included. So probably with the rate of inflation in the last 21 years, it's probably considerably more. Sounds like chickadees. A little pathway up the hill to some really nice homes. Now, everybody from Halifax gives Dartmouth a hard time. We call it the dark side, that it's a rough city and everything, but really I think it's just us poking fun at them. It's harmless. I've lived in both areas, and I've lived down in Eastern Passage, so each place has their pros and cons. There's some big tires on his bike. Alright, so that little street that had the fence, that takes us down to this building here. This is one of the sewage treatment plants that follow the harbor, just to keep it clean. I had somebody ask in a live stream why we have them, like as to how dirty is our harbor. Well, since the early 1700s, with ships coming in all the time and raw sewage being pumped out through the pipes into the harbor, it kind of made it a nasty mess. And it was to the point, even the Navy divers were having a hard time doing their scuba exercises into the harbor. They could not see it. They could not see where they were going. It was that bad. And so back in the early 2000s, they got together. They had some money, I think came from the provincial and federal government, to clean up the harbor. So throughout along the harbor, there are various treatment plants. There's actually one down in the south end that I walked past in another live stream, and it looks like a house. So that's the one that a little tricky to see. Looking over to the harbor and to where we were. Whew. I just had a bug fly into my face. So a lot of this land here is still owned by the Port of Halifax. Ooh, it was a bumblebee. I noticed the gentleman on the bike that just passed. He had a little basket. It was actually a Superstore green bin, and he had his little dog in it. How sweet. See? The little dog wanted to go for a bike ride. It's a perfect day for it. I am really liking this trail. Do you like this trail, Mark?
Yeah, I do.
It's a great trail. How come I've never known this trail? There are multiple trails along the harbor. They're not connected yet. That is a big undertaking for the city to implement, but eventually we will have a trail that will go from the Dartmouth side all the way around the Bedford Basin to Halifax and connect up. So if I'm going to cross over here for a sec. Looks like they're doing some work down here. On the jetty. Now if you do see that yellow and blue ship, that is with I think it's one of the telecom companies. They lie fiber optic cables on the ocean floor to connect North America to Europe. Everything's turning into fiber optic nowadays instead of the old copper wire that they used to use. So that goes out every few weeks or so, and it's gone for a bit, and then it comes back. And the ship beside it is one of the, I want to say it could be a Coast Guard ship, but it also could be just a merchant freighter. I'm not sure. Let's keep walking. Kiddo hates it when I stop because it slows down his steps. Before we hopped on the ferry today, we went over to Peace by Chocolate. Not sure if I mentioned that. And we picked up a couple of chocolate bars. A good way to support a Nova Scotia business. So I have one that is the dark chocolate, and it has blueberries in it, Nova Scotia blueberries from Oxford. Now Peace by Chocolate is it was started by a Syrian family that were refugees, and about 3 months ago the patriarch of the family became a Canadian citizen. They're based out of Antigonish, where St. FX University is, St. Francis Xavier. So that's where their place of production is. And you can buy their chocolate at any of the Sobeys or Lawton stores here in Nova Scotia, and probably the Maritimes. See, people are going to be getting ready to have a little garden. Looks like a little bit of a community garden for these apartments. Now, at one time, all this used to be all owned by the Canadian Coast Guard, and these were housing for the Coast Guard. And now they are just regular apartments. They're called Maplehurst. They kind of look a little boring on the outside. They were built in the 40s, but they are huge. when you see an apartment that has a big eat-in kitchen, a separate dining room, living room, and say 2 bedrooms or 3, depending on your family size, and it's all hardwood floor. I feel a sun sneeze coming on. I got that tickle. Now, I want to say, and I could be wrong, that I'm pretty sure that my mom and dad lived down here shortly after they got married in the late 60s. I know that they lived over here in Dartmouth. When my older sister was born. I just can't remember where, and I thought that they lived in one of these apartment buildings just for a little bit. So the path ended just as we crossed that little road, but we're heading through a parking lot and we're going to meet up with it again. And we're going to be on the Dartmouth Cove part of the walk, which I was here back, I think, at the 1st of February, and I did a recording, and I started a live stream from down here. Eventually, I would like to get out to Bedford and record some content out there. I'm just not sure what their walkways are like along the Bedford Basin. And maybe get out to Rockingham and go up to the Hemlock Ravine Park and see the heart-shaped pond. Now it's funny because I started this channel really just to get my butt out there, to get some exercise and fresh air, and to lower my blood pressure and reduce my stress and anxiety levels. And I think it's helped. And also because Kiddo was watching a whole lot of WalkTube videos. He's been watching Johnny Strides probably since August of 2019. Yeah, July, August of 2019. And he's been watching the Ken Continuum and Action Kid and a whole bunch of other ones. I want to say Torontopia, like the older videos of that one. So I've thought about it in the fall, and I was just like, he can come with me. He's my motivator. Let's do a channel. So here I am. And at the time I didn't know about Halifax Walker, so I just figured there's nobody around here doing these. So I'm basically carving a niche out here because I'm on the East Coast and I'm a girl. There's not too many of us out here Shout out to Walking Alice in New York and this prairie girl in Winnipeg. I like seeing girl power in the walktube community. We're not all about hair and makeup and nails. It is a lot warmer today than it was in February. So we're down in Dartmouth Cove now. So this may all look familiar with you. There is King's Wharf with the back end of it. 2 of those buildings are condos and 2 are rental units. They're not cheap. And there's some homes on the other side of the tracks. So Kiddo and I are probably going to end this when we get to the Alderney Ferry terminal. But that's not for another maybe 10 or 15 minutes from now. I can't see the timer on here. This screen is pretty small. And I wear glasses, my eyes suck. I have an astigmatism, which basically means my eyes are flat. It's the only thing on my body that's flat. So now when I was down here in February, there was a gentleman who was doing that little guy on the corner with the devil. This is public space. It is a place for people to legally do street art. I do find it very creative. And you can tell that it gets layered and layered and layered. Kind of like that Pink Panther. It's funny because when I look at the graffiti and the street art, it kind of reminds me of Rap Battle. And you see like the pictures that you see on that gate. Look, this old girl will stay up late on a Sunday night to play Rap Battle. Now, if you're new to my channel and you're wondering what I'm talking about, on Johnny Stumbles YouTube channel, on Sunday nights he does a hangout and we play games on jackbox.tv. There's drawing games, there's rap battle, there's quizzes. It's fun. Kiddo is over on his phone, probably checking text messages. He goes to his dad's this afternoon, late this afternoon. And he's with his dad for the weekend until Wednesday. So if I do any live streaming this weekend, kiddo will not be with me. But he might pop into the chat. He usually does. He has his own YouTube channel as well. It's called On Your Mark, Get Set, Go. His name is Mark. He has a couple walking videos and a lot of escalator videos. Right now he has a video that he did from a couple years ago when he was on vacation in Toronto at the Yorkdale Mall. He did all the escalators that are in that mall, including the ones from H&M and Zara. And he has over 13,000 views. Yeah, for escalators. So that's impressive. I'm lucky. I think I have one video that's pretty close to 2,000 views. So if you want to go check out Kiddo's channel, go right ahead. Just be kind in the comments. I do moderate his channel. I always thought this mural was really cool. So this part of the trail is a little bit industrial. Dominion Diving is here. And a couple salvage companies that go out and, you know, get things from the bottom of the harbor. I always have some kind of like romantic notion that they're looking for treasure. Pirate treasure off the coast of Nova Scotia. Arr, matey. So we are coming up to the Shubenacadie Canal. That's a little interpretation center talking about the canal. Over the years it has been filled in places to make it narrower than what it used to be, and it's been built over or built under culverts as well, so streets can go over it. So we are going to be following Alderney Drive. The trail does continue. Skateboarder had a gimbal with his phone. So he must be vlogging. Ooh. We hit up a little bit of a windy patch. Now I'm not going to follow the sidewalk. I want to continue with the trail. I apologize if you can hear the wind. This will be the test of my fuzzy wuzzy mic muff, powder puff, you know what I mean. I am hearing some seagulls. So this is the Daffodil Garden that's over here. That was built by the Canadian Cancer Society. So the daffodils are blooming. And each seat that is in the circle does have an inspirational quote. As you can tell, the daffodils keep going on and on and on. It's all about the 12 maple trees that are here in the city. A little amphitheater. And more daffodils. So we are now in downtown Dartmouth, on the Dartmouth waterfront. I must say I did like this trail a lot. It's something, regardless if I record or not, I will be definitely coming back over for a stroll. Do you like this trail?
Yes, I do. I think I started walking on this almost a month, because if I was going to my dad today, this would have been like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I started going out further now.
Now, do you remember how long the trail is?
It's 3 kilometers, and I walked about 30 minutes when I timed it.
So it's 3 kilometers that we just walked. Not bad for me.
It's 30 minutes, but it's without stopping, because if you stop, it puts minutes on.
Yeah, and I stopped. Oh, so we got some more flowers over here. How pretty. Not sure if the microphone picked that up. Kiddo has to go change a light bulb. Hey, it happens. So he's making a run for it. That was the only thing I noticed that's not on the trail. It would have been nice to have facilities or just something. And I'm sure too that in the summertime, especially weekends, that trail will be a lot busier than what it was today. It is early afternoon on a Thursday. So it does look like they are doing some repair work here on the wharf. Apologies for the wind. I can see that the Dartmouth Ferry is coming over. All right, my lovelies, I want to thank you so much for coming along with me on this walk. I'm going to try to get out of the wind. This will probably be my very first official uploaded with the Pocket 2. I did do a video yesterday at the grocery store just to see if I could go into a grocery store. Not sure if I will post that or not. We'll see. Anyway, my lovelies, I want to thank you all for walking with me. If you do want to support the channel, I do have links down below in the description for my PayPal and my Patreon if you'd like to have a membership. I'm almost monetized. Not quite, I'm getting there. So I can't offer channel memberships quite yet, but Patreon is there, as well as the PayPal links if you wanted to do a one-time donation. That helps support the channel and pay for cost of equipment and data.